But I also need somebody to do more.
Hello.
Wait, I think Margot is doing it or something.
Okay. Is your dad on it?
What?
I'm trying to set up this Google.
What up, girl?
Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay, so it's working.
Yeah, I can see you.
All right.
Why
Yeah,
you-
I'm gonna.
why-
What?
Hello?
I'm gonna go in a
What?
pregame, Ash.
Okay,
Bye.
I'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay, bye. Can you hear me, Jimmy?
Yes, I can hear you, Margot.
Can you hear me? Is it working? I can't hear you really.
Well,
On the new computer. Oh, did I just do something? Yeah.
who's that?
I'm doing this is it's live, so like we can just give this link to people, and like Jimmy's live right now,
What's up, Jimmy?
so
Hey.
people just we give them the link. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in there, Jimmy, so you can see pregame.
What? And good back? 50 and under? So I'm out. You know, you guys help with the chairs? So just
Close. Oh.
So this is how it goes for next time. we'll try to get you in a little bit quicker. So sorry, hey, there's Rick. So for general training, we got actually EMD Josh Williamson coming in. So, one clap for him. But make sure when he gets in there, we get a big round of applause. He always kills it on GT. So you guys are awesome for the first time back here, man. You guys are, again, the treat. But also for all of you guys to learn from Josh. You know, he did it really quick. You know, he has a very solid business and part of the team here. So you guys are very fortunate to be in his business, really. So I like the guy. So cool, man. Other than that, excited. Try to, in Mozone, not to be on your phones. Don't go into your office and hide and, you know, be so people can meet other people. The more people we have in there, the better it works, really. It sets an environment. Also, don't, between associates, be positive, you know. Whatever, we're not your shrink, you know, and nothing like that. So whatever problems you have, unfortunately, you got to leave it at the door, because here we got to have a big smile, be excited about your business, and that's all that matters. Okay, problems, bills, and all that, nothing happens outside, you know, inside of here, I have to say, right? Cool?
Yeah.
Fired up?
Yeah.
Okay, Whoosh, let's go.
All right. So I'm going to take the computer with me. How's your? Yeah. Take Jimmy with me. Yeah. I want to see the big show, baby. Yeah, I think that's good. It works. What's up, man?
So hey, you know, in a car dealership, you know, 20 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 20 applicants, 15 applicants. Everybody.
I didn't recognize that. Then you guys put your own stuff inside.
Yeah, my wife. That's our
So then you don't pay nothing. Yeah, then after that, I didn't see everybody. They started doing their own research. And even though what was everybody was doing.
Oh, that's Margaret's computer.
Yeah, and they told me I don't see much performance difference. It's almost identical. I can see that. Other than flies, just like think about that. Every time I always tell myself, I really don't
Pass your test, man. Make it official. Oh man, great for you, man. Oh man, sweet. What you taking it? I think yeah, that's what I told you to see me before. I'm taking this. My man, we're gonna start out that here.
You know, today,
Oh, that's right, that's right. Wait, yeah, I have a friend who's
So pretty much we're supposed to lay out like 12, 16 best
it's not like that, you know. You're in life, nutrition part, but it's fun and it's so many oh, you are right. Oh, just help me come here. All right.
still a little resistant.
Oh, yeah. It's just like,
I walked in the every like
yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, yeah, that's all. I hope you made it here.
Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. This is now starting to get out of control. Can you believe how many people are here?
Yeah, you guys are rocking.
I can't hear you. Oh, there you are.
You hear us now?
There you are. There you are. Oh, Ashley's got her best clothes on.
I came dressed for the meeting. We've been pounding all day, brother. You hear
All
us?
right. I just wanted to say hi. It's pretty cool. Look how many people are here. Let me get out of the way.
That's awesome.
You're on time.
You know what? Right. I don't even live here.
So they're all dressed up.
No, I'm like, hey, guys. Yeah, I'm in. John will be on you.
With the
I will meet you.
All I know is like, in order to get but then after I get the second page, I'm like, oh man, what comes out with this? It's always
Yeah, he just went there and then he's like, he's a manager. It's actually, they don't know. So you're good with people, but PFJ. So you've always done most of the stuff.
Yeah, there's another office. It's a new office. So I'm in that team. I came in yesterday. You're smiling, but you're not talking, man. Am I saying something wrong? No, I'm not. That's right. You speak Spanish, obviously, right? I'm just saying, right? Because I don't know. It's kind of hard. When you speak Sorry about that. I just interrupted, but I've been in that thing for a while. You can take that for me.
I get everyone's attention, San Diego. Thank you. Well, welcome. I love the turnout. Love seeing beautiful faces in this office here this evening. My name is Amanda Montpellier, and it's my privilege to formally welcome you all here to the premier office of World Financial Group and Transamerica Financial Advisors here in beautiful San Diego. And especially like to welcome those of you with the red name badge. Either you're a family member, a friend, a client of ours, or someone that's just looking for a really great opportunity. As the name suggests, we are in the financial services industry, well surpassed companies you might be a bit more familiar with, such as Merrill Lynch and Charles Schwab. In fact, in 2012, World Financial Group merged with Transamerica, making us the 6th largest broker dealer out of 8,000 broker dealers here in North America. But we didn't stop there. We're for number 6, number 3, and I'm proud to announce that we're number 1 in growth in sales revenue. I think that deserves a round of applause. As a female agent, I'm even more proud to announce that we have the most female representatives. I think that deserves a bigger round of applause. Don't say any of this to impress you, but really to impress upon you the tremendous business opportunity that you have with us here today. Just help me tell you a little about who we are and what we do. I have 2 guest speakers that have taken time away from their family, friends, and business to be with us here this evening. Our first speaker, for the guests, I've kind of told you a little about him already. He background from Argentina, born and raised there. He spent 20 plus years as an engineer. And he found out that, hey, he was capped out in his money there. He wanted an opportunity that he was able to get what he thought he deserved. Wonderful man, senior marketing director in this office. Father, husband, help me introduce Jorge Calambrin. This gentleman has built a beautiful business here in San Diego, in San Dimas, and out in Kansas. He's a senior marketing director with that firm. of the company a little over 12 months, multiple six-figure earner. Background a little, he was in real estate, he had a hair product line. He's dabbled in a lot of different things. He's a single father, great gentleman. Help me introduce Yuri Bazile. Alright, so in just a few moments, the person that invited you here will escort you back to the presentation room. We'll hear a little about who we are and what we do. Before we do so, I have a couple of favors. Please silence your cell phones in respect to my speakers here this evening. My second favor is a little more of a personal favor. This company really changed my life and my family's life. So if you keep your best eyes and ears open, it will do the same for you. So have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
All right.
You only make it one.
Scary? Gotta get your report.
I remember you. How are you, brother?
Yes.
They didn't know you guys were living.
They knew, but
They didn't expect this.
they expect this,
All right, well, we'll talk.
Hi, how are you?
Got lucky stove. I was going.
All right, this one's about
So my hair was like, everybody's like,
Recognition.
yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
pretty good.
Pretty soon?
Yeah, yeah. Where you going?
I don't know. Everyone go ahead and start on seats so we can figure out any more. Let's go, Brian. Where you at?
I'm right here. Let's go. Sit down. Let's go.
How you been, Brian?
I'm good. How about yourself?
You know I'm always good.
No.
Cat-like reflexes, dude. You can't go wrong.
You shouldn't have dropped it in the first place.
I was showing my skills.
All right, everybody stand up. Let's get hype. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey, Wednesday night, BPM, right? Hey, come on, everybody jump up. Let's go. Boom. Well, man, let's go. Let's go. How y'all doing tonight? I said, how you doing tonight? Yeah, there we go. Let's get the energy up. Yeah. Hey, let's get the energy up the whole time. We got great training. We got guests in here. Let's go. Okay, let's go. All right, who we got for captains today? Captains, 10 or more confirmed guests today. Who's out there saying, hey, we got a BPM. Let's do this. Let's take over an opportunity to change your life. Who did it? Any captains? Nobody? That's okay. Something we can work on. Who brought guests today? Everybody should be standing up today. Who brought guests?
All right.
Let's go. Who brought guests? Don't be shy. All right. Two more. All right. Mr. Reed.
Do I get my trophy?
Nah, man, you get the trophy, man. You keep the trophy. Tell us how you did it.
Well, the first one I got was I sold his dad my Jeep. So he's like, he's got a 21-year-old son, and he's trying to look for something. And I said, maybe you can come work with me. And sold him a few policies, and so here you go, sell him a Jeep, sell him some life insurance, and recruit his son. And then another guy, I just thought about that. And then another guy, just somebody I met, does right by us, and he needs a break, and we'll see if we can help him out.
There it is.
So what he did is just open his mouth, said something, knew somebody, and was like, hey, this is an opportunity to do. All right. Who between this Wednesday and last Wednesday have new directs? Stand up! Let's go! Hey, clap it up! Hey, that's a good thing. Business growing. All right. Doug, how many we got? One. One. Look at that. Everybody's growing. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So what we all do here is go out there and help families, right? So who was out there in the field, kneecap to kneecap, doing KTP from Wednesday to Wednesday? Stand up quickly. Clap it up. That's what it is about. Now, for all those who sit kneecap to kneecap, who closed business? Hey, that's good. I like that. People standing. What we got? What we got, Pat? 150 items? Who else?
Baby.
300 IUL, a 200 IUL, $36 term, $219,000 rollover.
What was after the 200 IUL? My memory is bad.
$300 IUL.
Yes, that's right.
You said it's term
$36 term.
2 something rollover.
250,000?
219.
That's it?
Yeah.
136 turn. Mr. Davey.
66 term.
And Mr. Yuri.
175. IUL split with Mr. Brian Mitchell.
Him?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
This guy right here. 185 IUL split with Mr. Donald
I'm talking about.
Thomas. 250 split with Yuri. 79 term, 75 term, and a 45 term.
75 term.
45.
45 term. Man.
I think our guest of honor should come up and talk a little bit more.
All right, so check it out. Look at all that. That is 1 week of people doing what they're supposed to do, helping families out there, changing people's lives, giving them opportunity, and helping people say, hey, you know what? Didn't learn something, but I learned something when I left the door. So let's give it up for all the business guys. All right. From Wednesday to Wednesday, who took the test and passed it? Don't be shy. Stand up. Stand fast. But stand up. Let me tell you. Stand up right quick. Hey, taking the test, knowing the test, and then going back after, it's not about what you do when you succeed, but it's about what you do when you fail. Okay, so when you take it again, don't get discouraged. Get back on the horse and ride that thing. All right. Everybody here, somebody has to have some special recognition. We got a lot of special people in here. We have a lot of Doug. Yep. All right, come on up.
All right. So this guy was actually my first direct recruit. He got promotion about a month ago. I can't say enough good things about this guy. Just the learning that I think he's seen himself through this process that WFG provides. So I'm super excited about this guy still. He's got closing business now. He's a husband-wife team. And he's bringing on other husband-wife teams, and they're here. And I'm just excited to see how he grows his business. But Pascal, you want to get this?
Yeah! Let's go, Pat! Yeah!
I don't know. Let's hear it. All this energy, I am just baffled. Just excited and just want to move forward and help families and do good. Just do it. Everybody. Yeah, appreciate it.
Good job, Pat. Anybody else? Anybody else got special recognition?
I just wanted to recognize we've got a lot of new people in our office. We've got a group of people that came over to us from the other San Diego office that are now going to be here. So can I get you guys to stand up so we can recognize you guys and you know who you guys are?
Hey, clap it up.
There you go. This is your new home, and I want you guys to feel at home. Like I said, office, if you guys need to use the office, let us know. We'll open it for you. If you're closing a lot of business, we'll even get to your own key. So at the end of the day, we're very happy to have you. And, please feel part of the family starting tonight.
All right.
All right.
Any other special recognitions? Going once, going twice. That's it. I skipped something. Who has the most piece of business up here? Well, come and tell us how you did it, my good sir.
All right. Whoosh. How I did it, I just, you guys know I'm really big on internal consumption. I'm really big on making sure that everybody becomes a client. So, they don't say, oh, that guy was an insurance agent. He passed away with no insurance. That doesn't happen here. So if you sell insurance, you should definitely have insurance, right? So that's all. I'm really big on getting people started the way they should in this company.
All right. All right, so it's that time where you get your notepads out, get your phones recording. Oh, we got more recognition? Oh, check this out. The queen of breaking the floor, Amanda. Hey, let's give it up. A good hand. So, like I said, get your notepads out, get your recorders out, okay? Because we have we're about to go through general training. This is the time where you need to have your eyes and ears focused, laser focused, because you don't know if that 1 second that you're on your phone, that 1 second that you're talking to your friend about having a beer later, this is the time where that might cost you $1 million, $1,000, for some of them $100, okay? So get your eyes and ears ready for a great individual that's coming to our office right now, Mr. Josh Williams. Hey, let's stand up. Hey, let's go. Clap it up. Let's go.
All right, great to be with you guys this evening. How are we?
Great.
Who has not heard me speak here before? Okay, so just so you guys have a little bit of a background, my name is Josh Williamson again, and I've got an office in Norco, Corona-Norco area. Executive marketing director, been here about nine years, and never has the time been greater to build a business here than it is right now. I can honestly say that the business keeps getting better and better and better. Does it get easier? No, but it gets better. It gets certainly more worth it. It gets to be even more worthwhile if you're giving it your absolute best. And if you can, and everybody in the room can, giving it your best from day one. If I knew how good it was going to be, I would have done it a heck of a lot faster early on. And I hope and pray that you guys take heed to that advice and you go after it hard right now. I want to share with you guys, so we got some new people in the room. Who's 30 days or less? Show of hands. Okay. Who's been here 90 days or less? Okay. Okay, so, and then who's been here at least 6 months or more? Okay. All right, so I'm going to have a message. This is going to be more of a leadership message and more of a training message for trainers, but everybody in the room is going to learn from it and be able to benefit from it, okay? I want you to know, first of all, you guys are doing a good job. How long ago did we open this office?
About 3 months.
3 months ago, within the last 90 days? So within the last 90 days, this office has been open. And who is brand new here in the last 90 days? And who's this is like, you got recruited in this office here? Go ahead and stand up for us. If this office brought you into the business here. Give those folks a round of applause, man. Congratulations, guys. Good job. All right. Okay, good maybe 25% of the room right there, which is really what should be happening. And you're going to have an opportunity these next 6 months through between now and the end of the year, July, August, September, October, November, and December, to close out 2016 by making a statement as an office. You are developing your core leaders right now. Nobody has popped their head up in this office as being number one. Nobody has gone out and really identified and, been the rabbit. You guys know how they have dog races, and they put a rabbit out first, right? The dogs chase the rabbit. And so every time you've got a rabbit in business and somebody leading, everybody else is chasing. We're still trying to find that rabbit in this office. We're still trying to find the person that's going to go out there and write 20, 30,000 personal points in a month, who's ready to go make 10 grand a month in the base shop. We're looking for those folks. So if you want that to be you, we'd like to make 10 grand a month in the next 3 months, right? You can be making 10 grand a month. Okay. If you want that to be, you have to take this more serious than you've been taking it. Let me just tell you the truth. It won't happen doing the same things you've been doing up until this point. Agreed?
Agreed.
So we're here today to help clarify some things, to help advance your understanding of the business and understanding of what you need to do to be successful. But it's going to be, that's only 50% of it. You got to meet us halfway and put the effort and energy in. The ones who put the effort and energy in are the ones that the leadership finds that says, wow, this guy's really stepping up. I'm going to spend some extra energy on that. Yariv is doing a great job here in this office, right? He and his team are really doing a good job leading guest count and leading growth and all that kind of stuff. If you're on Yariv's team, don't you want him looking down and saying, hey, I want to lock on that guy? You want him seeing you, right? You want him putting you up here to do recognition. You want him spending the extra time, the leadership development hours, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night with you, stretching vision, teaching you the ins and outs of the business. Don't you guys want that? You got to step up and do your part, though. Because we're all business people in the room, aren't we?
Yes.
A wise person, any business person can make money and go make it now, it'll disappear, and they'll go make more. Or can we make more time? We cannot make more time, can we? So if we can't make more time, how we spend our time is pretty precious to us, isn't it? Who we spend it on is pretty precious. With a business like ours where there's tons of people demanding your time who would want it, you have to be wise in who you give it to. Which is why we were asking you to pop your head up. Which is why we're asking you to look around the room. Who's my competition in here? Who are the ones that, what are they doing? You know what, they haven't had a guest in a week. They haven't had a guest in 2 weeks. They don't have a direct. They haven't written business. You know what, I got these guys. You just do it. You show up. You're a good person. And you put in a little bit of work, and you're in the top 10%. You're in the top 5 people in the room. Most people are spectators. And in sports, most people are spectators, aren't they? How many people on the basketball court? 5. And there's some bench warmers. They're still getting paid more than the people watching the game. Agreed? So you got to put the effort in to get on the court. Because they didn't get on the court by just watching the game. They got on the court by what they did outside of the game time. So make sure that you treat WFG as your sport. Please, please, please do that. It is so worth your effort. I want to go through a topic with you, but before I do, please, you got to make a decision to be one of the 20 percenters. Remember I said just by showing up, putting a little work, you're in the top 10%? The fact is this, guys, there's a leadership rule called the priority principle, or Pareto's principle. And it says that 20% of people do 80% of the results, and 80% of people do 20% of the results. So in the month of June, were you in the 80% that only did 20% of the results, or were you in the doer category, the 20%ers that do 80% of the results? Which category do you fall in the office? Jump into that 20% by just doing a little bit, and then you're in the hunt. Now you're on track to making 10 grand a month plus in the base shop before you even an S&D. How great of a business opportunity is that? I was sitting with some people this morning, and this lady, it's funny, this lady came to our office a year ago. I'm in my BPM last night, and one of our associates is outside. Actually, I'm getting ready to go close the guest. I'm out there, I'm talking to him, and a car pulls up. And this lady pulls up in the parking lot. She says, excuse me. So I walk up to the car, and she's got a young lady in her seat. And she says, hey, this is the financial business, right? I said, yeah, it is. And she said, you know what, I was here a year ago, and it just wasn't the right time, but now I'm ready to go. And I got my niece in the car with me. She's going into business right now. She's pretty focused, pretty ambitious. Can we come back and talk to you? It's like, yeah. So they came back in the office today. And they said, you know what, we were talking about what we were going to do, and one of these friends had us do this, like, thinking about doing some wrap thing, and, you know, like, you wrap around your belly or something to lose weight. Going to the gym works a little too, huh? So, I don't know how long that's going to last, right? People figure it out eventually, maybe. So, you know, she's like, we're looking at that, and we're looking at, like, all these other things, and I was like, where can you go and get licensed, enroll in your licensing exam for $140? Go take your test, pass it with a 60%, a D-, just don't fail the freaking thing, and they'll give you a license to where you're going to be making 10 grand a month inside the base shop, not even as the top dog broker doing nothing. You can get yourself in position in your first 30 days to be on that promotion level, you know, a senior associate or a marketing director contract, and then you can spend the next 2 months building up to 10 grand a month. I said, where else are you going to go doing that? Listen, I said, this is the business people come to make money. I have a guy who's 23 years old. He started when he was 21 years old. He made 10 grand last month. 23 years old. I got another lady who's 24 years old. She started when she was 22, and she'll make 10 grand this month. There's a 58-year-old guy who is, you know, Mr. Olympia in the past, like big time, you know, type of a guy like that. Personal trainer type of a guy, and he's like, man, I gotta go make up for lost time. I screwed around too much time in my life doing self-employed stuff and being an employee and not building anything of my own. So I'm getting in the business. This guy's been here for about 2 years, and he's making he may cross 20 grand this month as a marketing guy. Where else can you do that in business? Is that incredible or what? I'm like, you're gonna go sell some wrap thing. I don't know how much they cost. They're gonna cost $40, $50. What are you gonna make on that? How many wraps you gotta sell for 40 grand, for 20 grand in a month? And can you do it next month? Does that make sense? Like, we have such a golden opportunity. It's worthy of your best. Give it your best. Please, your family and your future you will thank you for it. Let's do some compensation real fast. We have markers? Yeah. Right behind red?
Yeah.
Okay, someone grab a calculator out for me. Let's do some compensation here real fast. Wow, that is a...
Right.
Yeah, I'm blind now. Okay, so let's do personal, right? Let's say everybody's goal is to get to SMD, correct?
Right.
SMD is an 80% contract. So you're at 80% contract as a senior marketing director. You go out there and you write 20,000 and shoot 30,000. I'm already at 30,000 points for the month right now. So you should be doing 30,000 points if you're really on it and after it. 30,000 points times 80% is how much? How much? $24,000. 24 grand on your own personal pen. No team, no nothing else. That's just you and your personal pen writing business. Oh, and then we got a 4% bonus. What's 4% of 30,000?
$1,200.
$1,200. So plus $1,200 bonus. So what is that? 25,200, right? Actually, you know what? Let me categorize this another way. I'll do that. So 24 grand personal pen. That's one stream of income opportunity for you. That's where it starts. That's where you go get your $100,000 ring. You know, you got to start with you, right? The biggest mistake people make early on in the business is they make it all about their team. You do have a team, and you do need your team to grow in order to have more success in the business. However, you cannot lack your personal production, put all your emphasis into your team. Let me put it to you this way. Just say you have a leader. Everybody in here has a leader, right? What inspires you more? You have a question?
Yes. I'm sorry to interrupt. but I thought you had to have 200.
You do have to have 10 licensed agents. What I meant by no team for this is you didn't make any money from your team. That's your personal pay.
Oh, okay.
That's you writing business from your personal pay. I'm going to talk about team income involved.
Oh,
You can get yourself to SMD, and then your team still do nothing and still go make money, right? But let me put it to you this way. We all have leaders. You want your leader to inspire you.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so you got a leader. They can be one of two roles. One is the leader that says, you know what, you're on my team. Oh my gosh, I got to take care of you. What do you need? Where are you? Can I get you this? Can I get you this? Can I get you this? You know what, I've got all my attention on you, on you, on you. Do you want that to be your leader? Or do you want your leader to kind of be like, hey man, I just wrote 10,000 points. Hey man, I just made $4,000 or $5,000 this cycle. Hey man, I just got another direct. Hey, what are you at, man? Let's have some guests. Hey, let me lead you by example. Which one do you want? A or B? You want B, right? You want the example, right? Well, are you being A or are you being B? For your team. We want B. Most people are afraid to do what B is. That's work. So they resort to A. I got someone on my team. Oh my gosh, I got to take care of it. Do you have your BFS? Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you know, what can I do for you? How can I? Here, call me at 2 a.m. I'm going to be here for you. That's not how you build a team. People chase things. Just like dogs don't chase parked cars, people don't chase parked leaders. You've got to be doing something for your team to follow suit. So have you been an A leader or a B leader? And that applies to anybody with somebody on their team. And if you don't have someone on your team, I don't know how you're being an A leader anyways. You have no one to cater to. You better be a B leader. B leaders are doers. And doers go do, and the followers ask for time and say, hey, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. They're not constantly going down saying, what do you need? How many times Guillermo calls me? He wants money. Guillermo, what does he call? He very rarely calls me. I call him. Because he's busy. You know, this guy's making $200,000 a month. Plus. So what's he doing calling someone who makes $20,000-$30,000 a month? I need to be calling him, right? I should be demanding his time. This making sense? This is, yeah, go ahead.
Just elaborate.
Yep.
I remember exactly what you just talked about. You know, when you're going out there and you're being a B leader, right, and you're making money. I remember having a conversation with him and saying, man, I feel bad that I'm the only one making money on my team. And he's like, Yuri, the best thing you could do is make as much money as you can. They're going to want to make money too. Could you imagine if you don't make money and they're watching you and you're selling them the nightmare? Right. So the truth is that when you want to be a leader, like he says, you have to go out there and make some money if you want people to follow you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do for your team to make money is show them that you can make money. The example, right? The worst thing you can do is show up to meeting after meeting after meeting not making money. Because they think they're going to show up to meeting after meeting after meeting and not make money on your team. They show up to meeting and they see other people making money, but then they start to question your leadership ability. Everybody here has the ability to do what we need to do in the business. You just got to buy into the work. The work is the uncomfortable part, isn't it? Making phone calls, prospecting, getting out your top 25 list, putting yourself out there is the uncomfortable part. That's the part people are afraid to do. And if you're afraid to put yourself out there, you may not have enough belief in what we do as a company or what our products serve, how we serve people. If that's the case, you need to sit down with your leader and shore that up. But at the end of the day, you got to get out. You got to start doing it. And if you do, your team wants to follow this. Guess what they get to do? They get to say, "Hey, I'm on Amanda's team. She made $24,000 last month on her own personal pen. Do you want part of that?" People are like, "I want on that team." All of a sudden, your team starts growing because you decided to go make money. Versus the A leader is like, she's like, "Hey, what can I do for you? How can we can get some more people?" And they come in here and they say, "Oh, you know, great presentation. And how long you guys been here? What do you do? And they're not selling them the drink. So it's harder to build a team by not doing anything. Does that make sense? You guys alive?
Yep.
Okay, show some energy, please. Don't kill me with your, keep smiling faces or something, right? Don't fall asleep. I'm talking about making 24 grand a month right now, personal fan. I hope we get some more liveliness out of you guys. Man, San Diego. Man, there we go. Finally. I know you guys are chill down here in San Diego, but we got to un-San Diego this office a little bit, all right? Get intense. All right, so personal pins right there. After you got your personal, you have a team too, right? We call that immediate team your base shop. Your base shop is everybody on your team who's not an SMD, right? So the people who are going to be your future SMDs into the future. So your base shop goes out there, and how many people in your base shop can you get to write business like you? That's the sign of a leader, right? Someone who will make money on the personal pin, awesome. But how many people in your base shop can you get to duplicate that? That's where leadership starts to really kick in. So let's just say you get a base shop that's writing 100,000 points. So maybe you have 5 people do 20,000 points. Or 10 people do 10,000 points. So it's probably going to be like one person does 10 and 20. And you got some people doing 5 and 10 and 15. Let's just say your base shop does 100,000 points. What is the base shop override between a S&D and the average base shop override? Let's look. Training associate is 30%. Associate is 45%. Senior associate is 55%. MD is 62%, and an SMD is 80%. So what's 25%, right? Let's just call it 25%. 100,000 times 25%. How much is that? $25,000 overriding your team. By the way, who were there watching you do this? Through field training, right? That's why we have a field training process. Not for one person to go make money, it's so that someone else can learn how to make money. If I'm field training and Jock is my field trainee, we go out there, we see clients, we see people, he's getting referrals. He's more important than anything else, his promotion, everything outside of that, that's all just minute compared to the training that he's getting. Because I'm teaching him how to serve a client. I'm teaching him how to, I'm not giving him bread, I'm teaching him how to fish. Right? I'm not giving him a fish, I'm teaching him how to fish. And he'll be able to fish for the rest of his life. So while I'm doing this, I'm duplicating myself into other people who will do that. So he's got 100,000 points, 25%, that's 25 grand on a base shop. Then you got a super base. A super base are your direct SMDs. So here's your personal. So personal. Here is an SMD. So if you're an SMD and you have an SMD, that's a super base. Everybody else within your base shop is your base shop. SMD is also 2 people on the same contract. So say I'm an SMD and Jock gets promoted to SMD. We're both 80% contract. There's no override in that, right? There's no spread, but the company pays a 17% royalty on everything his business does. Because who built that leader up? I did. Anyone work retail in here? Where you work at, Najee? Nava or Najee? Najee. Where you work at?
Hertz right now.
Hertz. Okay, perfect. Hertz. Say I worked at Hertz. Are you a manager or anything?
No.
Okay, you probably don't want to be one, right? That's why you're here. Let's just say you were a manager at Hertz, and I came through, and Hertz is like, hey, man, you're a manager. You got to be managing the store. You're a good manager. We need you to make sure you're training up some new leaders in the store here, right? They probably do that, Hertz, don't they? And they say, Hertz says, man, great job. You trained up this new guy. He's ready to be a manager. I think we can do with another store, another Hertz store in this neighborhood. So they go open a new store. I go out and run it. What do they pay you for that? But now Hertz has grown. They're serving a new community. They have more people coming and renting cars, et cetera, right? They're making more money. What do you get for it? Nothing. Who developed me? Hertz or you?
I did.
But they paid you a paycheck to do that. And you bought the security of that paycheck because you knew it was going to come in next week. and you sold out on overriding a new location. See, our business is the opposite. We give you the opportunity to develop a leader who will go serve in your community, but you didn't accept a paycheck. You did it on consignment. You did it on contingency. Right? You work like a lawyer works on contingency. They're like, all right, I'll take this case. I'll put a lot of effort into it, and when I know I'm going to win it. When we win this case, I'm making $30 million bucks. What a lawyer does, isn't it? You're doing that with business. You're saying, all right, I'll take this guy, I'll work with him, I'll develop him, I'm going to put a lot of time, effort, I'm going to get paid a little bit in there, but my real paycheck's coming when we win this case. When I get that leader stepping out there building a new branch. And I'm getting paid 17% royalty on everything that leader does and their entire organization from that point forward. That's how the business works. So now, in our business, you can become an SMD, find me, develop me, I go open a new location, serving new clients, building new leaders of my own, and the company didn't do what you did. As an independent contractor, you didn't take a paycheck, so they're paying you that 17% royalty. That is a super base. This is outside of you and your own efforts. How often am I down here? Not very often. Rick will be an SMD soon, Jock and Amanda will be an SMD soon, and we'll have more coming out of here. But once they're at that point, they're pretty much in control of their business, right? There's still certainly a lot of leadership stuff goes on, certainly alignment and coachability and all that stuff, but it's really on them. They're the leaders of it. They're like the new managers of the new herds. So what can a super base do outside of you? If each base shop does 30,000 points, which I think is kind of low these days, but let's just say they do, what's your average base shop points, you think? 35, 40, let's call it 40,000 points. 40,000 points, that's like, you know, they do half of what, not even half of what your base shop does. But SMBs, and they're doing like 40,000, let's call it 50,000, let's just call it half of what you do. 50,000 points, let's just say you've got, how many SMBs do you want? What is the limit that we allow you to promote SMBs? How many SMBs are you allowed to produce in WHG?
They need a minimum of 9.
I thought we could only do 9 forever.
No, that's the way it starts.
Oh no!
That's where
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's like going to this company. It's like you can only have 3 of these guys. You want. You go as wide as you want to go. You promote as many leaders as you want to go. Sky is the limit. Your business. You're in control. Go make it happen. So let's just say you can produce. You need 9 to get to EDC. Let's just make it even produce 10. Over 10 years, can you produce 10 SMBs? Let's just call it 15 years. What if it took you 15 years? 15 years where you're making 100 grand, 14 or 13 years out of those 15 years plus. Making 250 grand probably 10 years out of those 15 years, right? You're making $500,000 bucks. Are you still willing to put your head into it? You're making $500,000 bucks. Are you willing to keep your attention a little bit on what's paying you all that money? No. All right, so let's just call it 15 years, and you produce 10 SMDs. That's, I think that's pretty low. Let's just call it 10 years, whatever. Let's just say you do 10 SMDs. They each do 50,000 points. That is equal to 500,000 points, right? 17%.
8.5.
What is it?
85,000.
85,000 bucks a month. Not bad, huh? Live a decent wage on. Yeah, you can live a decent life on that. So you're gonna have people do 100,000 base shop points. Your SMDs, you're gonna have some do 10,000 base shop points. And every month's gonna vary a little bit, but it should certainly average out to right around 50. You have some studs do more. You have some duds do less. But you should average out at 50. If you're still building SMDs, you're still working a base shop, you're still personally doing it. This leads to this. The people that do this turn into this. Can you get 10 people to go out and do 50,000 points a month on your team? Yes. I mean, maybe you don't even know them right now, but you'll know through referral and people just walking up to your car. You'll meet people in crazy places. Now that you have a business opportunity, you'll start attracting different types of folks into your life. So that's a super base. Then you have a super team. So a super team is SMDs. SMDs. So you get 17% on first generation, 8% on second, 5% on third generation, 3% on fourth, 2% on fifth, and 1% on sixth. You can't make money forever because there is a limit to, you know, how much money is actually paid out. But they'll pay you 6 generations. So a super team is everything from this point forward. I'm sorry, this point forward. I remember one time I was talking to a guy named Dave Lemper. He's a Canadian guy. Makes a lot of money, right? He's making multi-millions of dollars. And I asked him, I said, what was your turning point in the business? What made you really sell out to this thing and really, you know, what mentally engaged you? He said, when I understood the compensation system, there was nowhere else I was going to go and build this type of a business. He said, the power of the compensation system is this. Here's the secret to it. For every one SMD you promote, on average, they will promote 3. On average, they will promote 3, which means you promote 1 at 17% and you get 3 at 8%. What's that?
Then you get 9 at 5%.
Yeah, exactly. Now it takes time, right? It takes time for someone to build a base shop, become an SMD, promote one, that one to be profitable, to promote one. But how long? I mean, are you guys doing this for 2 months or are you doing this for 20 years? You got to be thinking long term. So even on second generation, you promote 1, they'll promote 3 on average. So that's 8, 16, 24%. So let's look at a super team here. If your base shop, if your super base did 500,000, it should be pretty easy to say your super base can do $1 million, right? Call it 20 SMDs at 50%, at 50,000 per month. That's $1 million points. What is 8% of $1 million? Well, you know what? Let's call it. Let's be fair. 8% is first generation. Then you get 5, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to lump these all together, and let's call it. Let's call it 4%. By the way, that's if you had more. Actually, let's call it 5%. Let's just get the 5. $50,000, right? And that's actually low. This number would, in all actuality, be bigger than this one, because you'll have more SMBs in that category. Let's just leave it like this. So there's 4 streams of income. You personally go out and do it. So if I'm personally field training Julius here, I recruit him. I take him out in the field. We go see people. He says, wow, I learned what you did. You wrote business. You made money. I need to go do that. He builds a team. He duplicates it in my base shop. So he's doing it in my base shop. And then he becomes an SMD. When he becomes an SMD, I go on to the next. And I keep going and keep going and keep people in my base shop, right? But he's now doing that in his base shop. That's my super base. And it's not just him, because I did it with the next person, the next person, the next person. It takes a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months for me to spin and develop someone to get them up and running like that. But then they're an SMD, and then they do it, and they produce SMD. The company's going to pay you on all of that. But then outside of that, we have bonuses. So you get 4% on personal and base shop. So let's add that up, right? 30,000 plus it's 130,000 at 4%. What is that? What was he wrong? 52,000? 52,000 right there. 52,000 bucks. Is that right? Yeah. 5,200 bucks. 4%?
4%. No, 5,200.
$5,200.
Yeah.
So that's extra $5,200. Like, hey, who wants just an extra $5,200 right now? That's bonus outside of what you did, extra personal in your base shot. Okay? And then you've got, so that's there, then you got super base. Super base is it 5 or 4? I think it's 5%. So 5% of super base is 500,000 times 5%. How much is that? 500,000 times 5%. 25,000. 25 grand, right? Those are big bonuses. Those super base bonuses are big bonuses. And then you got a super team. Oh, by the way. Yeah, no, that's right. Super team. Your super team bonus is also 4%. So that's 1,000,000 points at 4%. That's 40,000. So let's add up your total bonuses this month. 40, that's 65, that's 70,200. 70,000, right? That's like extra. The company takes a percentage of the entire company's production and puts it in a bonus pool. And at an S&D level, you get to start qualifying for those bonus pools. If you and your base shop just do 25,000 points, you're in the money. And then it's shifted up pro rata depending on where you rank. Right? It's distributed like that. On average, they're giving 4% of the production. So that's what your bonuses come out to. 70,000 plus 50,000 plus 85,000 plus 25,000 plus 24,000. Add it up.
A lot of money.
Did your day get better yet, JC?
A little bit.
How much?
350 something?
I got
24.
254. You got 254 as well.
Oh my God.
Oh, and by the way, that is a small fraction of what the biggest guy in WFG is doing. Sean Wayne makes about 1.2, 1.3 million bucks a month. That's something. That's a cycle. I've seen his cycles. Like you guys have commission cycles, right? Every Tuesday, every Friday we get paid. His cycles are hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like a bad one is like 40 grand. I'm like, man, I want to make 40 grand a month. Man, I want to make 40. His bad one's 40 grand. He's been doing it 25 years. All right, so it's only going to get bigger if you keep in it. The problem is people get to taste a little money and they take their foot off the gas, or they make bad decisions that alter them from continuing on the path that got them there. Right? If we put $500,000 in your pocket these next 12 months, would you be as hungry as you are right now? Interesting question, isn't it? Interesting question. You built a few leaders up and you know money's going to keep coming in because they're hungry. Would you stay as ambitious as you are right now? If so, this is the type of lifestyle you can live. If not, you'll still make 6 figures. But if so, you can go make 7 figures and above. Who's fired up right now?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes.
So do we want to know how we look at this? It all starts here, and then it trickles into here, and then it trickles into here and here, and then you're getting this along the way, depending on if you're just getting that, or if you're getting that, or if you eventually get that. So everybody in the room right now is here because you're not SMBs and you're not overriding a base shop. As a matter of fact, Jorge is. He just walked in. And he's the smallest guy in the room. So Jorge's making 6 figures overriding SMBs. Right? Pretty nice life, isn't it? Oh, so Jorge's like making money over here. He's making money here. He's making money here. And he's making money here, by the way.
Yeah.
He's got SMBs who are CEOs. So that means they've got their own base shops, right? So that's how we did it. Recruiting. Having guests in that office, in that room right now. The CEOs came through the office, just like every single one of you. They got the presentation, just like every single one of you. Some people are like, oh my gosh, we should do it like this. I can't believe this person's doing this. What do they do? Man, you guys try to micromanage it. Winners want to win. Like, relax. Just get people here. Losers complain, winners make it happen. Make sure you're acting like a winner to attract the winner, right? They're going to go through there just like you did. They're going to get it just like you did. But the winners are going to go through there and go get it. Quit their job, come full time, put it all on the line, and they will make it happen. And then that's their future. So you can be the winner or you can override winners. Either way, you're taking home some paychecks. But it starts with personally recruiting, then base shop, then super base, then super team, and along the way you're making some bonuses. Let's all say, what does it start with?
Personal.
Again?
Personal.
Okay, so how do you start the personal production? So you recruit. Recruit leads to production. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I have to recruit Jorge into the business in order for Jorge to become a trainee so we can go out and field train. So that means my number one thing I got to be good at to start this whole thing is explaining the business or inviting to the BPM. They are doing a business presentation meeting, a BPM. The other side of that is if someone can't make it here to the office on a Wednesday night or a Saturday afternoon, you need to do a BMP. You need to bring the meeting to the people. It's called a one-on-one recruiting presentation. There's little flip charts you can do, man. I've got something, well, everybody does. You guys all have access, and I recommend you get it. This is Own Your Future brochure, WFG printed material. You can order it from the website. It was at convention. You also have the WFG Reach app. It gives you PDF versions of all the material. You can download this, and you can use it on an iPad or some type of screen. I like having the printed copy, but here's what it is. It's a BPM in print. Size your dreams. Talks about the companies, right? The companies we work with, the bigness of it. What we do, cash flow, crop protection, build wealth, rule of 72, the X curve, the system we have, the back office support, the rings, the travel, all the winning we do, and then examples of people who've done it. So if I've got someone who's an Indian person, I'm going to find an Indian person here and say, look at Raj Dhaliwal. The man, he was a cab driver 8 years ago, and today he's making $3 million a year. You know any cab drivers? He's like, yes. And you say, okay, what about 7-Eleven store owners? What about this or that, right? Who's in business? Who's entrepreneurial, right? Who wants to get out? I'd be going after Reeves got a great story. He was an Uber driver. I'd be going after Uber drivers like crazy right now, right? They're kicking the cab drivers out of the industry. They're going direct to the customer. Get the cab drivers, the middlemen out of it. We're going to go do it on our own. That's our business. We're getting the State Farms out of the industry. MetLife laid off all their life insurance sales agents. Woo. They're getting out of the industry. And we're the only ones growing. We got 60,000 licensed agents. 5 years ago, we had like 13,000. There's 60,000 licensed agents. We're growing, and everybody else is getting out of it because they're the middlemen. We're taking it direct to the consumer, right? We're the average people that can go get an Uber, turn on our switch, and start making money. That's us for financial services. That's the way the world was working these days. So go tell them, hey, you can drive Uber too. But let's get paid tens of thousands of dollars a month not to do it to get another car. Right? Use this. I will give this to my guests after they get out of the BPM so they have something to take home. Last thing you want to do is give someone, collect their $100, their $140, and you send them home empty-handed. Now they go home like, I guess I'll Google it. I guess I'll, something like that, right? They're looking for more information to validate their decision. Give it to them. It's right here for you, right? Pre-printed. So you must, yes?
Speaking on that brochure, is that something that you can do by the no, like 1, 2?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can order as many as you want. Okay. I think they're $1 a piece. Okay. Certainly. What I do is I'll give it to them, so they'll leave. If they don't get coded tonight, I'll give it to them. I'll say, listen, I'm going to give this to you. I need you to read it through. I need you to bring it back to me. Smart man. I don't care if they think I'm cheap. It did cost me $1. I don't care if they think I'm cheap.
The old times it was
We used to charge them, right?
$5.
A little tacky maybe now, but we used to charge them $5. Like, what? $5? Yeah, $5. You want it or not, man? Get out of here if you don't want it. Like, oh, all right, here's my $5.
And it was a trifold.
It was a little trifold. This is like a full
$5.
glossy thing, right? But I'll give it to them and say, I need it back. When you come back tomorrow for your follow-up, make sure you've read through it and bring it back with you. That way they're like, oh my gosh, I have this. I got to give it back to them. Even if they didn't want to come back, they feel a little bit guilty for not bringing this
We
back.
reimburse them if they sign up.
Right? I'm going to make them give it back. Then I'm going to give it back, and I'm going to give them this. This is gold. They come back and they get coded. After they get coded, I'm going to give them this brochure. It's the best practices for new associates. Getting started with WFG. This marinates them. This is the pre-framing of the fast start. This gets them ready for a fast start when they come back. So let me just talk about the topics. So you got someone brand new. They just bought into the business. They just got licensed. They just got in the licensing course. They just gave you $140. They said, I don't know you. I met you and I was driving Uber, but this sounds good. You send them home with something. They got coded. You send them home with something again. And you say, read it, because when you come back, you have to give it back to me. So that way they read it. But then the first thing it says is the financial industry needs people who are dedicated to simply wanting to do good things for other people. Integrity, setting goals, get licensed, recruiting. They don't do it for you if you're afraid of talking about that. Your warm market. Tell them about your warm market. You'll learn how to get people who have known for some time to begin thinking of you as a financial professional. Your warm market is, we get you in a warm market to rebrand you to your warm market. If you're an Uber driver, your family knows you as an Uber driver. Just because you got started in financial services doesn't mean they see you as a financial advisor. You've got to rebrand yourself in that. And if you try to do it all by yourself, it'll take you years. Because that's a pretty big task to go take on, right? But if you bring somebody who's licensed, who's competent, who can really carry themselves well in front of that client that you know, they start seeing you as that person. Oh, you're going to do that? Oh, man, here's this person, here's this person, here's this person. Man. Go get it. Because you brought them a new brand to look at outside of you. So it talks about your warm market, how you can utilize that. Get excited. When you see how WG helps families, that's when you really get excited. Tell them, go ahead and get excited. Think big. Tell them how to think about critics. Whole section on critics. Don't concentrate on other people's opinions. As you succeed, their opinions will change. 3-3-30. Meeting attendance. Learning from the success of others. Your role as a new associate. What's expected of you, etc. So all that before you even get back and do the fast one. So you want them to read through it. Now if they got questions, what's this 3-3-30 thing? Man, great question. We're going to cover that right now. But at least they're like, okay, yeah, I read a little bit about critics. I read a little bit about meeting attendance. They kind of know it a little bit, right? If it's here, it's coming from someone other than you too. So you can just reinforce the system. You're not the one making up the system in the back of your mind. Okay? Critical. Both of those things. How much time do we have?
Probably like 15 minutes.
Okay. So recruit to production. Which means it all boils down to what? Recruiting, doesn't it? Yes.
Quick question. How much, on average, does an associate like as far as business income? Is there an average?
Well, like a trainee, like somebody brand new?
Yeah.
It depends. I mean, we've got people. You got to be licensed to go out there and write business first. So some people do 10,000 points a month. Some will do 2,000 points a month. 2,000 to 3,000 points is like one client. So how many clients can you do? Right? I don't know how many points did you guys write as a trainee? These guys got promoted to senior associates as trainees. They produced like 30,000 points in their warm market as trainees. 40,000 points in his warm market as a trainee in 90 days. Some people do 2 hours. I don't know. It's up to you. Yeah. By the way, do not let other people's, what they do, influence how much you do. Because if they did 40,000, maybe you can do 120,000. If they did 2,000, maybe you'll do 1,000. Right? You just go do what you can do. Make sense? Right. The other thing you guys need to have. Anybody ever heard of this?
Yeah.
System manual. This is what makes WFG special. Sharing with those ladies that came in and saw me today, that showed up to my parking lot last night. I said, WFG is where people go to make money. Where people show up to make money while they're helping clients. But what makes them able to go make money like that? What makes you able to do it personally, get a team to do what you did, get a team to do what they did, which is what you did, and get a team to do what they did, which is what they did, which is you did. You got to run it on a system. It's got to be built on a foundation that everyone's going to do it, right? Every big company runs on a system of some sorts. Does the Navy have a system? Yep. You walk into a recruiting office, you sign up. After you sign up, you get shipped off to boot camp. Everybody goes through boot camp. It's pretty much the same. Different, obviously, different drill instructors and et cetera, but those are different field trainers. Those are different leaders, but it's the same system. That makes sense? You get shipped off to different parts of the world, but it's the same system. Everyone has to put their order requests in, and you get told where you're going to go and all that kind of stuff, right? That's a system. They have a field manual. They have their own system manual. So does WFG. And if you're going to build something big, it's got to be based on a system. Do not try to be personality driven and just do it on your own. Have flavor, be personable, be a good person, be engaging, be sincere, but do the steps based on the system. Who knows the 6 steps of the BFS other than Jorge? This is probably why he's got the biggest super team in here. Who knows the 6 steps? Oh my goodness.
Bring it on, boss. Bring it on.
This is sad. You guys don't teach out of this, huh? Oh my gosh. Rich Thawley would slap everybody in this room. He'd slap me just because we haven't been teaching it. All right, here's step 1 of the system. Tab 1. Prospecting. Prospecting. Everybody, please download this or print it. Please, please, please. They can drop you in the middle of Alaska. You can build a business if you just follow this. The leaders are getting up here doing crazy things. Say, hey, where? The system says the first thing we should do is prospect. You're saying the first thing we should do is like jump off a bridge. I think I'll follow the system. This keeps everybody on the same page. Make sense? Yeah. Step 1, prospecting. Step 2 is after you prospected them, after you've got a name, everybody knows people too, right? Okay, so you've got that, you got those people. What do you got to do with that?
Follow up.
Oh, hold on. You got to put it on a list. Yeah. You're going to do a top 100 list. You're going to make probably 4 or 5 top 100 lists because you know a lot more than 100 people if you really thought about it. If you don't think you know 100 people, there's a little thing called the memory jogger that has like 943 different categories of how you can remember people. Everyone's like, I don't know anyone. I get to 49 and I forgot, I don't know anyone. And it's like, who was the best man at your wedding? Oh yeah, boom. Who's your aunt? Oh yeah, I didn't think about her. Boom. Who's your cousin? Who's a coworker? Who's an old boss? Who's the barista? Who's the executive assistant? You're like, oh yeah, this person. Like all of a sudden you got 400 people. So do a top 100 list, and then you narrow down the top 25 based on the 8 pointers at the bottom of those lists. Are they over 25? Are they married? Do they have children? Are they homeowners? Do they have income? Are they dissatisfied? And are they entrepreneurial minded? 7 points. I guess it is 7 points. So you narrow them down to the top 25. That's called the top 25 list. That is the system. Everybody in the room should have a top 25 list in your possession right now. If we don't, we're not running the business. You get it?
Yep.
Okay. Show up with your top 25 lists. Otherwise, who are you contacting? Whoever you remember in your back of your mind when it becomes convenient? No, you can't build a business when it's convenient or based on who you can remember. Very busy people operate by a schedule, don't they? Right? They've got a schedule. Why do they have to schedule it? What if I told them, like, hey, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, 9 p.m., 4 o'clock, call this person. But they forget it, right? It's screwed all up. You think you're going to put your 400 contacts, and she's like, oh yeah, this person. Oh yeah, this person. I'm going to operate on it. And you got to put it on a list. That's your top 100 and top 25. That keeps you organized. Okay, I talked to this person. What happened with that? I talked to this person. What's happened with that? I invited them to BPM, or I set up a training appointment. 2 outcomes of every contact. Prospect. Actually, let me do this. Prospect. It's going to go in one of 2 directions. Recruit or a client. Presentation. Even if it's just referral. They'd be like, I know they're not going to buy anything. They're cool. They said they don't want to buy anything. They have a financial advisor, all that. I don't care. Let's just sit down with them, show them what we do, because maybe they're going to think of someone who can benefit from it, right? Worst case scenario, they'll refer. But every prospect on your top 25 list, 125. On your top 25 list is going to go in one of 2 directions. Clients bring production. Recruits bring production and base shop. So what is our number 1 priority? Recruits, because they bring 2 birds with 1 stone. Contact. Now I have to contact. Which is step 1, step 2. Approach contact is step 2. Approach contact. Approach/contact. How do I approach them? How do I contact them? What do I say? The scripts are in the BFS. You know what to say? Read the BFS. Right in there, at your fingertips. You can download it in an instant. Have the words to say how to invite someone here this Saturday. So first I got to prospect, identify my top 25. Then I got to contact them. What do I say? And after I contact them, what's going to happen? One of 2 things. They're either going to say no, in which case I ask for referrals, or they're going to say yes. We're going to go down this category right now because that's the most important one we're going to talk about. I contact them, which means I invite them to a BPM or a one-on-one. They say yeah. If they say no, I'm going to say great. Thanks for entertaining it. Who do you know who's ambitious, who's money motivated, who's good with people? Who do you know that wants to go make part-time income? And I'm not talking about $200. I'm talking about like $2,000 up to $10,000 plus a month part-time. Who do you know like that? What? $10,000 a month part-time? Maybe I am interested because you asked for a referral. You didn't just say, okay, thank you. Worst thing they can do, they've already said no. Worst thing they can do if you ask for a referral is what? Say no again. Which means you're in the same place you were before you asked for it. But at least you asked. And then if they come back and they say, oh yeah, I do know somebody, boom, you got a new direct business partner. And then when they come as a referral, they're in. No skepticism, because that's a warm market referral. There's trust in there somewhere. But if they say yes, then what do? Presentation. Which is number 3. That's what your Eve is doing right now, doing the presentation. Step 3 in the BFS. After the presentation, so it talks about how should a BPM go. Guess what? You have name tags. That's in the system. There should be classes going on. At one point, you guys will get to there as far as team size starts picking up a little more. What you talk about in Mozone. Don't talk about negativity. Don't talk about gossip. Don't talk about home office losing paperwork. Don't talk about chargeback. Don't talk about stuff, right? Don't talk about anything that doesn't go to building people. You want negativity? Go back to your job. This is positivity zone, right? And we're not going to settle for any negativity in Mozone. So you talk about good things. It's such a good environment, isn't it? The people that I told you, they showed up at BPM last night, they drove by. They came back a year later, drove by. I said, hey, is this still you guys? Yeah. We love the environment. They came back because the environment. The one thing that I thought was weird at the beginning What are all these people shaking each other's hands, smiling, laughing? What is this? Why are they so happy? This doesn't happen to my job. It's gotta be odd. Something's up here. I'm gonna stick around just to find out what it is. The one thing that I thought was weird is the one thing that draws the right people back. The environment. It's not what you tell them, it's what they feel. When you interact with somebody, I won't name names, but there's some, I'm not even gonna say who, because you really identify it. Maybe you guys don't even know. But there's people, there's a guy who's a leader and he's awesome. He's incredible. 6-figure and he's incredible. He can get up to train, and I don't remember what the heck he trained on. He can talk to me, I don't remember what the heck he talked about. It's like, it's so contradictory, it's like this and that, and like, what? But it doesn't matter because he leaves you feeling amazing. You're like, I don't know what he just said, but life is awesome. He's awesome. Like, what did he teach me? I don't know, but all I know is he's awesome. People don't remember what you say, they remember how they feel. Right? So people don't remember, these people that came back in your life, like, I don't remember what you guys do. I don't know his finances, but it was awesome. That's what they said. We're like, all right, well, let's talk about it again. Boom, boom, here's a couple things like, oh yeah, awesome, that's okay, that's right. They came back because of a feeling. So the presentation, all of that is in the BFS, is the system manual. Right, so you got to learn that. If you guys want to run your own office, you got to learn that. You want to get this office humming even better? Everybody needs to be on the same page with that. Okay? After you present, what do you got to do? Follow up. So that's step 4. So this is your follow-up interview. They're going to come out of there, and they're going to say one of two things. After a presentation, they're going to say no, which is you're going to ask for a referral. If they say, hey, that was interesting. Hey, good stuff in there, right? Interesting. Okay, that's their code for I'm not really interested. Interesting means I'm not really interested. You say, well, hey, we appreciate you coming down here, learning a little bit. Who do you know who's ambitious? Who do you know who's money motivated? Who do you want to make that kind of money part-time? To start with and maybe go after a full-time career. Everybody knows somebody, don't they? Does everybody know somebody? Yep. Yeah, everybody knows somebody like that, right? And so maybe they say, well, this person, and they give you the name, and then you call them, and they come down, and you call that person back, and you say, hey man, thanks for the referral for James. He's coming on board. Let me just tell you, you got a shot. He could be on your team, man. You want to come back, or you want to just refer it? You're like, well, oh, he's going to blow up. He's going to be awesome. All right, when's your next meeting? All of a sudden, they're interested. Hey, give them a shot. So they're going to follow up. After they follow up and they do a follow-up interview, their interview questions are in there. What did you like most about what you heard in there? If we were to give you a shot, why you? Why should we invest our time with you? What would you be doing this for? So these are interview questions that we ask them. Other than licensing and training, do you have any questions for us? All of that is in there. You can do an interview on page 30. Everybody should have this, because if I say, hey, Paula, I need you to do an interview for me. We have 40 guests in here. I can't do them all. Can you go do an interview? Open page 40 and go do it. She can go there and be like, brand new. How long have you been in business, Paula? Yes, sir. All right, perfect. Good interview. So, Paula, here, take my guess. She says, okay, what intrigued you most about what you heard in there? And they're going to say, the money. You're like, okay. Tell me a little about yourself. You're going to say, oh, I do this. Okay. What would you like most about your current career path? Nothing. Okay. You just read down it, and it sounds like an interview, right? That's the business right there. In the system manual. Imagine that. The company put it all in one place. We're all trying to figure out how we do this. Oh my gosh, what's going on? How am I ever going to learn all this? You don't. Open the system manual. Simple as that. So follow up. They're either going to say yes or no. If they say no, what are you going to do? If they say yes, you are going to start up. That's a fast start. That's step 5. You're going to start them up. You get them started up. They come back for a fast start. Or we give them the new associate thing to read. That's covered some of the stuff in the fast start. The startup is another section in here. 7 keys to our fast start in there. Let's go through that real quick. 7 keys to a fast start. We have a fast start manual for our team. But even if you don't have that, you got the building blocks right here. You can do it straight from this. It says once a new associate has completed an AMA, it's important the following points to be discussed in the follow-up interview. Attend all meetings. So 7 points to a fast start. Attend all meetings. Hey, new person, if you want to grow here, you got to show up. It's like going to church. Did your pastor ever tell you, you can come to church for a month and then you'll be good? They don't do that, do they? I was like, okay, church is like an ongoing thing because I got to continue to grow. There's so much there I got to learn, develop, yada, 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 right? Same thing in our business. You're going to evolve as a person and you will hear things a different way. You'll take it a different way. You'll grow a different way, etc., etc. You're evolving. So attend all meetings. Wednesday nights, Saturday afternoons. Complete a prospect list. Imagine that, right? Back to step 1. So you're going to do this startup, and you're telling them to go back to step 1. Top 100 list, top 25 list. And then they're going to contact. So in there, you got to be teaching them the scripts. The scripts are in step 2, right? First contact. And then they're going to present. How's the presentation supposed to go? And then they're going to learn how a follow-up goes. Because they're going to watch you do the interview for their person. And then they're going to have that new person doing a fast start. So number 2, complete a prospect. Number 3, master the invitation. That's approach contact, right? Complete a prospect list, then master the invitation. Number 3, set goals. So you're a new person, you got to have some goals, right? When you want to make your first 10 grand a month. Guys, I didn't always think as big as I do right now. When I was a trainee, the person who brought me in the business was like, okay, cool, coded that night, see you later. They were gone for like 3 months. I got drafted to play football, cool. So I was like, all right, cool. So their upline leader said, all right, I'm going to do your fast start. I come back, and the person who invited me into the business was a friend of mine. We go back together to do our fast start. And there's a sheet. It's called the 5 Ns of a business plan. It was in the old BFS. One of the things is, how much money do you want to make a month? And so I'm like, oh man, I was making like $4 grand a month or something in my job. I don't know what it was. And I was like, oh, $5,000 a month would be awesome. If I can make $1,000 more than I'm making right now, it would be amazing, right? So I'm like, $5,000. My friend put the same thing. Like, what do you call it? So we put 5,000. And it was Guillermo Haro's assistant. Was our trainer, Melissa Lancaster. So she had an office in Guillermo Haro's office, right? So if that's Rick's office, there's another office in there. So I'm in his office and I'm doing this. And she asked him, how much did you put down? So she's looking at his paper and $5,000. She's like, $5,000? And Guillermo's like, $5,000? He's making like $1 million a year. He's like, $5,000? And he's getting ripped for only putting $5,000, so I wouldn't put a 1 in front of it. They're like, see, he's thinking big. He's all right. Yes, all right. I'm the one who lasted, maybe because I put a little 1 in front of it. I slipped that in. But they got me thinking bigger. That's what setting goals does, right? It's such an important thing. If you're not setting goals to new people, you're not getting them thinking bigger than what they're doing right now. They have nothing to draw them in. Where there is no vision, the people will perish, right? If they don't have goals ahead of them, they're going to disappear. Next one, begin field training immediately. So get in the field. Tells them to go out field training, complete 3-3-30. Remain positive and then be coachable. Those are 7 keys to a fast start right there. So if you didn't know how to do the startup, at least reference this and you can get through a lot of it. Okay? And then the last step, after you've done this, and you've taken them back up here and here and here and here, guess what you're doing? Duplication. So you're going from, I did it personal, I recruited, it led to production, I'm building a base shop, I'm duplicating myself, I'm duplicating myself, I'm duplicating myself. All based on the system.
Really quick. I'm going to grab the guest and jump in there.
Absolutely.
And whoever has a guest, just let me know. I just, before I walk in, I want my team, if you guys can hang tight, so we can have a quick meeting afterwards. I've got 3 people that are in there, all right? Okay.
And you guys, everybody should be doing team meetings after the meeting. You guys stay behind for your base shop meetings after the meeting. Don't scatter afterward. That's what the followers do. The leaders stick around and want to run a little bit more. So there's the 6 steps of the BFS. Is that a pretty powerful system or what?
Yes.
You get a license, you follow the 6 steps of the BFS, you have the opportunity to build a business as big as you want. But where does it start? Personal. Personal what? Personal recruiting. Say it louder. Personal recruiting. Okay. So it starts with your personal recruiting. If it starts with your personal recruiting, let me ask you, how important is it to have guests? Everything relies on it. Do we make money directly recruiting? No. This isn't one of those deals. But everything relies on it because you're building your business. You're building your agency. If Hertz wants to grow, do they have to recruit people to grow? And they love the word recruit because that's exactly what they're doing. Fall in love with that word. It's exactly what you're doing. You're searching for talent to help build your business. Personal recruiting is the end of the game, is the name of the game. It's going to take you some years of personal recruiting to build this. But we never said it was going to be easy, did we?
No.
Is it a little more difficult getting the confidence up to talk to someone about a business? Absolutely. But it's just words. That's it. It's just words. Everybody can learn words, right? It's just words. It's just being confident with it. So you need to spend some time with your leader role-playing the scripts. That's why we need to build a scripts class here. So you guys are doing the scripts and practicing. That way you feel comfortable inviting. But if, listen, let me end with this. If personal recruiting is this big, this important for your business, is it worth it you really selling out to it? Yeah? So what are you going to do tomorrow that you didn't do today to build your business? And you will follow that every single day until you've made that kind of income. It will not happen if you don't make that change. So what is that change for you? Write it down in your notepad right now. What is that change? Is it getting my 5 numbers a day? Is it making my 30 to 50 calls a day? Is it role-playing my scripts every day? What is the change that you have to make to get the difference in your business? People like Hyder's a master inviter. He probably needs that. He's invited a lot of people, not a whole lot of stuff. He's got to change his script a little bit. Still, he can get people here, but we got to get the right people here. And we got to get the right step 2, or step 3, which is the presentation and then the follow-up, right? He's good up here, but we got to work on this stuff with him. He's that much closer, though. Because most people can't even get there. See how close he is to really blowing up? He's down here. So what are you going to change to get that going? Okay. Feel good?
Yeah.
Great.
All right, I'm going to open up for questions for a couple minutes while we finish interviews. Do we have any questions? Comments? Concerns? Who's going to run for the hills now? All right, go ahead, JC.
So you said you've been doing this for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
What was your biggest struggle when you started out?
It was just not really selling out to the building side of it, being a little reluctant for that. Once I just said, you know what? People put armor on, don't they? People like come in with armor on. You're like, you kind of guard yourself a little bit. Makes sense? People do that, right? They guard themselves. You're like, these are new people. I'm not quite sure. I'm not really going to let people in. I'm not, especially when you're new. You got to let the armor off if you're going to fight this war. You can't be guarded and, just a little reserved and not quite you. And you can't not open up and expect to go build a business, people business, right? You got to let the guard down. Let your guard down, and then the real you comes out and sell out to what I'm telling you to sell out to. I tried to do everything else first. I was one of the few people that got securities license before I really started building a team. Because that was another focus I could do outside of building a team. And then the securities license comes, and then people go like, most people get the license, and then they're like, oh, now I got to go do what I'm supposed to do to begin with. And then they end up falling out, which is sad. We call that high tech, no check. So they know a lot, but they get no money coming in, right? You just got to buy in to do what you need to do up front in the business. Let's get that, you know, hey, you're in business. They call it executive marketing director is the title, right? Senior marketing director is the title. Guess what you're supposed to be doing? Marketing. I know, it's like so cryptic. The company does like hides the system in a system manual. It's like crazy, right? They hide these little brochures that says best practices for a new associate. It's like finding cookies in the cookie jar. Exactly where you're not supposed to find them, right? Senior marketing director. So if you want to become a senior marketing director, you got to get out there and rebrand yourself. Listen, if I was going into real estate, if I was getting my real estate license, I want everyone I know that I knew know that I wasn't going to be a realtor. Isn't that true of all realtors? Yeah, they give you like 49 cards every time you see them, right? Like here's a card, here, let me give you a package of them. Boom, hand them out. Because they're trying to get you to know that when you buy a house, they want you to go through them. Or anyone else. The problem is a small fraction of people actually can afford to have the down payment for, qualify for, buy, or in the market to buy a house at any given time, right? So there are a bunch of people trying to get a small group of the population to purchase property. We're the opposite. We're inverted. 95% of people need what we do in some way, shape, or form. So I want those people to know what I do. But you got to be willing to get out of your comfort zone. So to answer your question, I was an architecture guy. I was a construction guy. This was not me. But I had to get out of my comfort zone to redefine myself, so this was me. And once I let the armor down, once I let my guard down and I went out and did that, I found people were very receptive. People really got at least worst case value out of what we do. And I found out that there's a lot of people like me who want more. So it was my lack of allowing myself to go win by keeping my guard up. Make sense? Yes.
How do you teach, the duplication process to new people when you're new yourself? You know what I'm saying? It's like you say, you got to be. You say personal production. That's where everybody says, "Hey, I want to be that." But it's like a fine line between saying recruit, but also be a personal production. So they're like, "Hey,
are you an option A leader or option B leader?"
Option B.
That's an option A question.
No.
Isn't it?
Okay.
As an option B person, what would they tell you? Follow me, do what I do.
Hey, remember everything I just walked you through? Yeah, now you get to do that. Let me show you how to do that.
The quicker you train, the quicker you're faster, the quicker you learn.
Yeah. See, again, that's the biggest. We are building a team. If I'm a real estate broker, I'm trying to get every single licensed real estate agent in San Diego in my brokerage. I'm trying to build the biggest real estate brokerage in the world, right? I want everybody on my team. We're not real estate again, we're financial services. I want to get everybody licensed out there, serving the clients that aren't being served, serving the population that's overlooked, and being the Ubers, taking control, right, and going directly to those clients, skipping the middleman. You can get your license, just like you can get in a car, and you can go serve clients, just like Uber goes out there and drives people around. I want as many of those people in my brokerage as possible. Any businessman would. But again, there's this conception that once I start doing that, now they become, I got to put all this focus into them. Remember, you can sit there and like train them and talk about it all day, but they're not going to, lessons are caught, not taught, right? I'm teaching right now, but I hope you're catching some things. You're really going to learn very little from me, and you'll learn more from going out in the field with your leaders like Jock and Amanda and Rick and Reeve and Jorge and these guys. You'll learn much more from them than you will from this message tonight, because lessons are caught. So Brian, to answer your question, if lessons are caught, not taught, how do you get your team to duplicate action? Can you control if they're going to take action or not? No. All you can do is go get more. Can Uber control if someone's going to turn the switch on and go to work? No. Guess what they got to do if they need more service? Go get more. Go get more drivers, right? Well, we have 4 drivers in San Diego, and none of them are going to work right now. Well, we better go market and go get more drivers. Like, how do we get our drivers to drive more? They're probably like, They're going to do what they're going to do. Let's just go get one. Follow me?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? It's okay if you do, guys. They're not stupid. No? Okay. I think we're finished. Takeaway. Let me just get a couple of people. What are your takeaways from tonight? I'll get a little feedback here.
Big visions.
Big vision? Okay. Sell the big vision, right? Anybody else? On the system. Very good.
That I do know the system, that I need to stop guessing myself because I need the BFS.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have. You know, these are the building blocks, right? There's mortar to building blocks. There's concrete buildings, but then you got mortar to hold it together, right? You know, so there's always going to be mortar, but you know the building blocks, right? I'm going to prospect, I'm going to contact, I'm going to present, I'm going to follow up, I'm going to start up, I'm going to duplicate. Those are my building blocks. How I go about doing it, laying that brick, might change between S&D or S&D, right? What you're more comfortable with, whatever. We got a fast start manual, right? Because it's got the scripts in it, it's got everything in it, top 100, top 25, all the forms are in it. So we use that, but it's certainly directly from the BFS. Yeah, you know the system. Just go do it at a higher rate. Over here? Was there a comment, question?
Recruiting, it all comes back to recruiting and running the system.
Yeah, really does. Big business. You know, Uber wants to be big, they got to go recruit more. Okay, good? All right, guys, stick around for your meetings after the meetings, okay? Your SMGs have some important messages. School, yes.